Welcome back. All right, so news of the day video for all you fine people for your Tuesday, April the 11th. Starting off with Erik Karlsson. Erik Karlsson has become the first defenseman to reach 100 points in 31 years. I think he's the sixth overall in terms of defensemen reaching that milestone. And he's the fourth oldest player to reach 100 points behind Gordie Howe, Johnny Busick, and Daniel Alfredsson, who were all older when they reached that mark. This is some historic territory that Karlsson is in. We'll have the debate about why he's going to win the Norris and whether or not he should at another time. But at this point, yeah, he definitely looks like the favorite to win the Norris Trophy. The 100 points does probably put him over the top. And so, yeah, again, we'll have that debate some other time. But Karlsson is arguably having the best season of his career right now. And I say arguably because remember the last time he won the Norris, he was better defensively, I thought, than where he's at now. But yeah, the offense is going to overshadow everything right now. Auston Matthews reached a bit of a milestone last night. So he is the fourth U.S.-born player in NHL history with 5 or more 40-goal seasons in a row. LaFontaine holds the record with 7. He shares that with Joey Mullen. And John LeClair also had 5. So Matthews is in some pretty heady territory right there. And there's no reason to think that the 40-goal seasons are going to end anytime soon with Matthews. The remarkable thing with Auston Matthews this year is he's got a 40-goal season, and it's seen as a disappointment. That's when you know you've arrived. When you have a 40-plus goal season, and the reaction to that is, he could be better. He wasn't as good as last year. That tells you that you've really, truly arrived. So Matthews, I don't see any reason he won't hit 40 goals again next year. Claude Giroux and Joe Pavelski last night provided a first in NHL history. It is the first time ever that 2 players have hit 1,000 points on the same night. And it's interesting because with Pavelski, when he left San Jose, I didn't think he would stick around long enough. I didn't think he'd get enough points for 1,000. And here we are. I've done the Giroux video. I did that today. The Pavelski video is coming. That will happen. Also, there's been questions about when the John Garrett career video is coming. I need all the props for that first. That's definitely a career video that's going to require some time. And I intend to put in the time on that one. So, yeah. Giroux and Pavelski reaching 1,000 points the same night was kind of awesome, and I'm glad I realized when that goal came up for Pavelski. That's .1000, right? Yep. So Boston tonight could make history yet again. So they've got the wins record at 63. The next mark is 132 points. The record was set by the 1976-77 Habs. The points total right now for Boston, of course, 131, tied with the Detroit Red Wings in second place on the all-time list for points. And so a win would set the new mark. 1 point would get them tied, and 2 points would give them a win. This is also their season finale at home, at least regular season finale. So, yeah, they'll want to give the fans something to be excited about, and setting a new points record would absolutely do that. So, we'll see how things go tonight against the Caps. Caps are in the second half of back-to-back. It's probably going to be Lindgren in net because it was Kemper last night. Boston's got a really good shot, I think, tonight of setting a new points record. So, Toronto news, and this is all the talk right now on social media. So last night, Samsonov was the starter. It looks like he's not going to be the starter tonight. He hasn't played back-to-back games all season. This is a game tonight that doesn't mean anything to Toronto. So there's the possibility that an amateur tryout goaltender gets the game tonight because there's some debate about whether or not they can use an emergency recall and get another goaltender into the lineup from the AHL that would then allow them to start that goaltender tonight. And if they can't, it may very well be an amateur goaltender that's in there. And so, the debate is out there about how fair this is or isn't. The emergency recalls thing, I think, is odd. I think if it's a situation like this where it's a goaltender, there should be the allowance that if a team doesn't have the emergency recall space for a skater, I understand on some level the idea of, well, you'll have to play a player short then. But with the goaltender, it's a little bit different. And with Samsonov, I get not wanting to play him in back-to-back games because the playoffs are on the way, and if you feel like Samsonov's injury prone on any level, you want to make sure he gets the right amount of rest. So it will be interesting to see who Toronto starts tonight. I'm wearing a Leafs jersey just in case they need me. It would be tough for me to get there in time, but if they want me to be the starting goaltender, I'm willing to sign a contract for, I'll take 30 grand. I'm not greedy. I'll take 30 grand, and I'll let Tampa Bay just wire it, and we'll lose like 28-0. But it would be entertaining. At any rate, yeah, no emergency recall room is what they're saying, although there's still a chance that Wall ends up getting the game tonight. The NHL and Toronto should just work this out. Again, a team should not be sitting in this position. Now, I also will say, and this is the truth, that when teams end up in this situation, they've kind of put themselves in that situation by not having that cap space, by making sure every single dollar is spent. And so I do feel for them in this situation, but there's still that voice in the back of my mind saying, yes, but. So that's there as well. So we'll see what they do tonight. But again, if the NHL let them use Wall tonight, I think that would make the most sense. Anyways, tonight's also a big night for New Jersey. They're trying to get first in the division. If Carolina loses and they win, it's theirs. But Luke Hughes debuting tonight as well. And there's a lot of excitement around Luke Hughes' debut. And there is something to be said for teams that can add players. And you're adding a guy to the NCAA. One example I would go back to Boston when Torrey Krug made his debut with the Bruins and was in the midst of a playoff run with them and was just fantastic right out of the gate. And it really did help Boston. It gave them that injection of talent, and it just gave them this different look. Luke Hughes could absolutely do that for New Jersey as well. So I'm kind of hyped up to see what he's able to do. It adds depth to a blue line that was already quite good, and it means that Luke Hughes is going to be a part of the Devils at least the rest of this season and set the stage for whatever he's going to do next season and beyond. But yeah, it's going to be a good time, I think, for the Devils having Jack and Luke Hughes both on the team. So Regina's dream came to an end. They got off to the 2-0 series lead, but they lost to the Saskatoon Blades in 7. Connor Bedard, though, 11 goals, 9 assists for 20 points in 7 games. So he did everything he could. He just, he couldn't be multiple players at the same time. And the depth in Regina just wasn't enough to hold off Saskatoon. So they do lose that series. So now for Saskatoon, Red Deer's up next for them. And for Bedard, the draft's up next for him. Although he could still be called to play in the World Championships, which are coming up this month as well for Team Canada. So maybe he ends up playing there if he's allowed. I don't think there's a rule that he wouldn't be allowed at his age before the draft, and he would absolutely, I would think, make that team as well and add to the hype. Right? It's all about the hype at this time of year, because for the teams that don't make the playoffs, and that's half the league, we will see some hype around the draft, and understandably so. This is supposed to be a really good deep draft headlined by Connor Bedard. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.